Why patience pays off in criminal cases. If you're charged with a crime, if you're facing a criminal situation, you want to get it over with right away. And believe me, I understand. But let me tell you, patience is really what you need to embrace to try to get the best possible result if you're charged with a crime in Washington State or anywhere else. My name is Lance Fryrear, and I'm the defender of justice. Defender of justice. Defender of justice. Defender of justice. I don't normally look like this. I look like this because, let's face it, I'm a defense attorney. But once in a while, I get a little more energy, and I'm the defender of justice like I am today. So I've been defending people charged with crimes for more than 20 years, and I've seen all walks of life. Of types of people charged with a crime. And so if you are the type of person that is a high achiever and you want to get stuff done right away, you're really going to suffer going through the criminal system. And while you want it over with, the more quickly it gets over with, often the worse the result. And that's some human nature factors that I want to cover here and some practical factors. So if you find this video useful, please like and please subscribe. It'll help more people get information, and let me tell you, people need information nowadays. So what is the normal process in a criminal case? Well, you get charged with a crime, you might be arrested, you might just get a summons. You go to court for an arraignment, and a lot of people think it's going to be over at that first court date. A lot of people think that, hey, I can just explain what happened and we're going to be done. Well, that's not how it works. Right? In arraignment, they won't even let you talk about what happened. If you start to try to talk, the judge is going to stop you and say, sir, ma'am, that's not what this hearing's about. Anything you say can be used against you. Make sure you talk to an attorney. They'll take a plea of not guilty, and they'll set additional court dates. And the first pretrial date's probably going to be 60 days out, maybe 30 days if you're lucky, but 60 is pretty common. And what happens then? I mean, you just left the courtroom. It's not over. What happens next? Well, hopefully you've gotten yourself an attorney, a private attorney, or applied for a public defender, and they're going to get sent police reports. And it takes at least 3 weeks in most cases to even get the reports. And you might be clamoring, I want to know what's in the reports. You might want the reports sent to you. And believe it or not, the court rules say that the attorney, for the most part, can't send you the reports. They can read them to you, but you can't have your own copy. And there's some reasons in the court rules about that. There's some exceptions, but for the most part, that is how it works. So why can't I just get the case over with at the first pretrial, Lance? I mean, I'm not guilty of this. I didn't do it. My boyfriend wasn't telling the truth, or I wasn't driving drunk. Or no, I didn't steal that, or I didn't threaten that person. Well, human nature of the parties and the players is why it's hard to get a result early on in the case. And it's also just sort of how the system works. And I hate to say it, sort of how the game is played. When you are a member of the criminal justice system, just like any other human, you are self-interested. Right? Everybody is self-interested. I always say even Mother Teresa was self-interested. I'm guessing that she got a lot of mental benefit from helping others, right? And prosecutors, which I was one for 7 years myself, they're in a really interesting and difficult position. They're representing the public interest. It's not well defined what the public interest is. It can be individual to each prosecutor. For the most part, they're probably not making a lot of money, right? And also that for the most part, there's people looking over their shoulder about what the results are. So it's a tough place to be. As the prosecutor, everybody wants something from you. The public defender is coming at you again and again with legal issues. Private attorneys are coming at you with legal issues and my client's a great person type stuff. The judge is coming at you with, get these cases moving along. We have too many cases. Probation might be on their back about results. And let me tell you, alleged victims and police officers can also be second guessing, third guessing what a prosecutor does. When I was a prosecutor, I had some police officers mad at me because I wasn't calling them in to testify and they didn't get overtime, or they were mad at me because I did call them in and made them miss their fishing trip. Okay? So the reason why I bring all these details up is the person making the decision in your case, if you're a criminal defendant, you may not understand this, it's not the judge, it's the prosecutor, right? They're bringing the state's case, the government's case, the city's case. And so for the most part, a prosecutor is walking around, right? What's going to go wrong next? Who's going to be mad at me next? And also, a prosecutor may be mad at what's in the report about what you're accused of. So it takes some time for when a prosecutor first sees the report to get comfortable with the risk that that case presents to their career, to their psyche, and just in general. So if your defense attorney is trying to negotiate with a prosecutor right away, that's when they're the most on edge. They're the most afraid, they're the most worried. They're worried about something going wrong. I can share with you that when I was a prosecutor, I remember I would be at the gym and I'd be watching, and I'd be on the stationary bike and I'd be looking at the news. And if somebody got killed in an attack or shot, I would just be holding my breath and say, please don't let it be by a defendant that I just either let go or listen to or was lenient with, because I don't want to make a mistake. And so that's what prosecutors face. So if you're a defendant, listen to your attorney. They know how to deal with your prosecutor because they've probably done it dozens of times before. But it's a very good rule of thumb that early is bad, okay? Early is bad to try to negotiate. So basically, in my firm, we have 3 steps in trying to explain to our clients about what a good strategy in our point of view is in criminal cases. And the first thing is to be patient. It takes some time. The prosecutor often needs to see that case on pretrial 2 times, 3 times, maybe 4 or 5 times before they can be in the mental space to be more comfortable to hear our side of the story. So 1 is be patient. 2 is we often need our clients to do something, right? During this time of patience, we want the client to do something so the prosecutor can feel part of the solution because they have a job to do, right? If there's alcohol involved, we might want our client to get an alcohol evaluation and show that they don't have a problem, or if they do, that they're addressing it through treatment. For clients accused of something where they can be said to have been angry, maybe we'll have them do an anger management class. It's not an admission, it's useful, right? We can learn some things and show the government that we're reasonable people, right, as the defendant and the defense attorneys. And, if it's a theft case, we could have you do a shoplifting class. If it's mental health, we could do counseling. And sometimes there's nothing that we can have you do. And sometimes we don't want you to do something. But a good strategy is use that time of patience to do something so the prosecutor is more willing to feel safe enough to hear what you have to say, your attorney has to say for defense issues. So then the third step is once the case has sort of been around long enough and we've had a client do enough, then how is it that we can use whatever facts we have, or sometimes we don't have any good facts, how can we use that and what we know about what the prosecutor needs to feel safe in giving us the result that we need, right? And sometimes it's just about the facts. This doesn't work in felonies and major felonies. It's more factual. It's just about what can you prove, and that's always part of it. But if your attorney's only playing the what you can prove game, they're screwing it up, okay? So I need you to be patient, and that's why patience pays off in criminal cases. Think about it. Another way to think about it is the longer the case goes without you having any type of problem, right, the better risk you are for the court, the better risk you are for the prosecutor to be able to exercise discretion and not convict you and put you in jail, because you always have the right to a jury trial, right? We can always go say, prove it at the jury trial, but why wouldn't we try to get you out of the case with less stress and less risk? And if you're not sleeping at night, there's things that you can do, right? If it's taking so long and you work for Microsoft, or you're a programmer, or you're an engineer, or someone that's always been in control in your life, well, you just need to talk to your attorney a little more, right? Talk to your attorney a little more. Have them, take some of the edge off by, letting you know what the strategy is, right? Letting you know, that it's going to be okay. A good defense attorney is okay with talking to you and understanding how you feel and trying to be patient. And hopefully they know some techniques to help you turn that off, right? That's a little bit of what our firm is known for, is, helping you get through this nightmare situation and making it so you can sleep again at night. Because the worst thing you can do, in my opinion, is pressure your attorney to move too quickly in the case, because once you get a no, you're oftentimes stuck with a no from the prosecutor, because oftentimes their ego won't let them change that no, right? Again, everybody is self-interested. So if you can remember that, it might be easier to be patient. And regardless, this is how we do things. I hope that you can get a good result, and I hope you found this video useful. If so, please like and please subscribe. It helps me get more information out there. And finally, if you're in a criminal situation, if you're accused of a crime, if you're afraid you're going to be, feel free to give my office a call. We're 5 attorneys, growing right now, and we'll listen to what happened. We'll try to find a way forward. And if we think we're a good match for you, we'll offer to get involved and be there for you. Thank you.